Three, two, one. What's up, everyone? We're here for another episode of the Tom Hayden Show. We got a good friend on today. I've been rooming with him most of the season so far. Like, you've been in all the groups I've been rooming with so far, so it's been so much fun. And Mike Moskal. We got Mike Moskal on the show. We had his brother T Mosk on earlier. So I think you guys are the first sibling. Actually, no, Mason and Abel Ashby were the first siblings.
Ah,
But you
so
guys,
close, so
yeah,
close.
so close. Second siblings. But yeah, no, dude, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got into Pokemon and what started your Pokemon journey.
Oh yeah, so as Tom said, my name is Mike Moskal. I also go by ATM Shadow elsewhere on the internet, Twitch, uh, Discord, all that stuff is ATM Shadow. Um, but yeah, I got into Pokemon like very casually at a young age. Like I'm old enough to play Gen 1 like when Gen 1 came out.
Yeah.
Um,
Me too.
so my friend actually had it, and I just borrowed his Game Boy and his Pokemon Red, and I played it, and then pretty much I went to my parents because like Christmas was coming up, and it was oh, what do you want for Christmas? And I was just like, I would really love a Game Boy with Pokemon. And I mean, we weren't a wealthy family. I'm one of four kids. I was just like, I don't think I have a shot at getting this at all. So, but my parents ended up figuring it out and figuring out how to get me Game Boy Color with Pokemon Yellow.
That's awesome.
And so I've always kind of played casually, like the video game very casually. Just I've played Red about a billion times. I played Gold about a billion times. I started falling off of it a little bit in Gen 3. But one of my buddies actually just like super dislikes Gen 3 and he wanted a bunch of Pokemon from there. And I actually love Gen 3. Like people don't
Yeah, I
like the
love it.
water in Gen 3. Like, but I don't care. I'll surf around that thing all day. Like it doesn't bother me at all.
I'm a water
So
person.
dude, I like it. I love water. I
Yeah.
love water. My favorite Pokemon is a water Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is Buizel. Buizel is
Weasel.
the best Pokemon ever created.
Yes.
Don't at me. But so yeah, I like played a lot of Gen 3 because like he wanted like the Latis and he wanted like the Reggies and stuff like that. So I did a bunch of that. Then I did play Diamond and Pearl. I still have like the DSs that I played on for Diamond and Pearl. Um so yeah, I just like very casually because it was high school. I wasn't really, I was trying not to let my nerd be known in high school, how high school kids do. Um but like I always played like super casually, like just having fun, with one of my friends and stuff like that. So yeah, then we're headed into college and it was my sophomore year of college and I ended up hurting my knee pretty bad
Oh damn.
and I couldn't really do anything.
Yeah.
So my buddy that we played Pokemon together our entire lives was like, "Yo, let's go up to the card shop and let's just like go check it out." Cuz like we used to go to this card shop every now and then near our house. So my dad drove us to the card shop because I couldn't drive.
Yeah.
And so we got there and we started playing Pokemon, like cards, like just kind of casually, just build some stuff that we like, the Pokemon of. Like he had a psychic deck, I had an electric deck, and
Let's go.
we just it was nothing like crazy competitive. Like if I would have ever played at a competitive scene with those decks, I would have got destroyed. But I enjoyed them.
Yeah, it
So
was fun.
um, then what kind of happened is we were pretty much the only people playing Pokemon at that shop. So I saw all these people playing Yu-Gi-Oh at the shop. And I mean, I always kind of like I had cards when I was a little younger and stuff. But like I like saw some of these cards and I'm just like, you know what, this looks kind of cool. There's more people playing. Let me try this. So basically I started down the road of playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think that was like 2010-ish. And from about that year on till about 2017, I qualified for nationals for Yu-Gi-Oh. I topped regionals and stuff like that. And I played a lot of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. Um
And wait, so
Traveled.
how you just started playing at the card shop and were like, I'm crushing it here. Let me go see how I do at the live events, or
So
what
yeah,
made you make
so
that
so
first
what
leap?
so what happened is my brother T Mosk,
Shout out.
lives in Columbus, Ohio,
Shout out
and there
Columbus.
was a Yu-Gi-Oh regional in Columbus, Ohio. So I was just like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I want to try this out, like play it on a little bit bigger stage. So I went, and honestly, the night before the regional, I almost talked myself out of going because I
Oh,
was so nervous to go and play. And I was just like, you know what? I'm here. Just
yeah.
just go, just play. If I lose, I lose. Like I've lost games of Yu-Gi-Oh before. It doesn't really matter. So I ended up topping that first regional I ever went to with my Blackwing deck. Blackwings are my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Uh, they're amazing. So yeah, I ended up going 7-2 that regional topping and getting my invite to nationals that first year. So I got back home and I went to my local card shop and I saw some of my friends and I was just like,
Yo.
hey guys, I got my invite. I topped this regional. And then the one guy was like, well, are you gonna go to Nats? And I was just like, dude, I don't even know where Nats is. I have no idea. So he was like, dude, Nats is in Pittsburgh. Let me talk to the group I'm traveling with and maybe you can get in on it. So I ended up going with that group to Pittsburgh for nationals that year. And actually, I still really good friends with a lot of people that I traveled with that first weekend, like to this day.
Dude, that's an incredible way to start your
Yeah.
like little competitive
Yeah.
journey.
So like I've always had a good time traveling for card games and stuff. So we're getting to about 2017-ish and like Yu-Gi-Oh's changing. Like they're changing some of the mechanics and stuff and they're adding things and it just doesn't feel like the game that I learned how to play uh throughout the years and I started kind of falling out of love with it.
Okay.
So about 2017 is when I started watching VGC and I watched a lot of Cybertron. I watched Wolfie when he was doing singles draft leagues back in the day. He was doing the WBE single draft leagues. This was right after he won Worlds, obviously. And then, I was just like, oh, maybe I want to try this. I don't know. There's really nowhere local for me to play or anything. But then I found Pokemon TCG tournaments going on around me. And so I tried to go to those as much as I could. Most of the tournaments were happening when I worked, so it didn't always work out. But one of my friends from a shop about an hour away was like, "Yo, they're doing Pokemon here," and they were doing like the league cups and league challenges for like championship points and stuff like that. So I just started playing there like as much as I could and I just started like getting into it more. And my first Pokemon tournament, like big tournament, was NAIC 2018, where I played TCG. I did not do very well,
That
but
was my next question.
I
Yeah.
I had a really good time. Like I really just enjoyed the feel of the room. I mean, internets. They just go above and beyond in these halls and decorating and like I'm gonna tell you, Pokemon people are way nicer than Yu-Gi-Oh people. So it's just like it was just a breath of fresh air,
That's really funny to hear.
kind of thing. So yeah, so I played NAIC 2018, kind of bombed out, started watching the VGC stream in NAIC, and I was just sitting there and I was just like watching, and I was trying to tell one of my TCG buddies like what was going on. And it was like, I think it was like a Perish Trap team with like Mega Gengar and Incineroar and stuff. And like dude was just looping, and I was just like, oh, he's gonna do,
Positioning, yeah.
he was just like, he's gonna do this next because then he can like reposition himself so that his mons don't die to Perish Song and all that stuff. He goes, dude, you know like a lot about that. Maybe like why don't you give that a try, like trying to play,
VGC.
competitive VGC. So 2019 was my first season I played VGC.
Nice.
It was the what is it called? GS Cup, the legendary format. So there was Xerneas, Kyogre, Groudon. It was wild to try to learn, some of this stuff when there's just so many heavy hitters in the game. So once again, there was a mid-season showdown down in Columbus. So I traveled down. Both me and my brother competed in our first tournament for a mid-season showdown. If anybody doesn't know, the Columbus area has a lot of heavy hitters in the VGC community. My round one opponent in my first ever match was Ashton Cox. Um, I won somehow, but I really feel like I kind of just misplayed myself into a win. Like
Yeah.
like he was probably predicting me to do things that actually made sense, and I was just kind of clicking buttons. So um yeah, so I somehow pulled that out. I think I went like 3-2 in the midseason or something like that. But I had a good time. I enjoyed playing. The team was fun. So I ended up going to, I think it was Hartford that year also. And I brought this team. It had a Credilli on it. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, the
But
Credilli. Don't.
yeah, it was a weird team, but it was kind of cool because like it kind of set the stage for my NAIC team because it was Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Celesteela were like my main three. Uh, which I love Celesteela. Celesteela is
I love that
incredible.
Pokemon. I love that
Yeah,
Pokemon.
Celesteela is just so good. Um, but yeah, like one of my friends actually ended up going with me, and he had a Celesteela, and this guy was swinging at this Celesteela with the Zekrom, and he could not kill the Celesteela. Like it was awesome.
It was
Like
awesome.
this, it was awesome. Like they just couldn't get through it. So, um, but yeah, so I ended up playing that whole season, uh, 2019 season, played VGC. Sword and Shield came out later that year. So I was like getting ready, play 2020 season, all that stuff, Sword and Shield. Um, I was actually preparing to go to Toronto Regionals right before COVID happened, and I was beyond ready. Like I was like so ready. I felt so good about my team. I was tearing up the ladder. I was ready. And then like obviously everything happened, and it was like the night before, and I talked to my friends that I was going to be traveling with. This is like, do you guys really think we should be going with everything that's going on? And they like we all just kind of decided amongst our like amongst our group that was traveling, we were just like it's probably just for the best if we don't go.
Yeah.
So and they ended up canceling that regional anyways. So I guess we made the correct decision overall. But it kind of took the wind out of my sails for VGC for quite a while. Like I was like I just didn't want to play anymore. I
Because you
didn't
didn't know
even
what to
like,
play for.
yeah, it's just like I didn't even try for like any of the Players Cup stuff because I was just like, what am I even doing? Like, I just spent so much time preparing myself. I wanted to go to this tournament. Now I can't go to this tournament. And it's just like, it just took a lot of wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
So when tournaments started back up and they basically said, okay, the previous year's championship points are going to go towards worlds for this year. I looked at it and I had actually top four a league challenge and a league cup for TCG because I still played TCG like very casually during 2019 and I had points for TCG uh, that would go towards worlds. So when I was just like, okay, well, if I'm going to play, at least I'm not starting from zero
Yeah.
if I play TCG. So I ended up getting hot and heavy back into TCG when regionals started coming back around. And I kind of just like never let it go. Like I can play VGC, like, but it's one of those things where I'm just like, I'm just slightly more comfortable because of uh, me playing Yu-Gi-Oh and things like that. Other card games where card games just feel a little bit better to me,
Yeah.
and I understand them a little bit better. So when tournaments started back up, I just decided, hey, I'm gonna go TCG, and Tom and Blaine decided to go VGC for obvious reasons. They played more VGC. Um, so I just kind of kept on to the TCG and I just haven't let go. And I'm still playing TCG now.
Dude, so what's your best finish this season?
Uh, I got, I think it was like 130 something at
That's really good.
Toronto Regional. Yeah. Um, I just missed out on day two. I went 5-3-1. So it was a little heartbreaking, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. So I mean, I've done that a couple of times this season where I've missed out on day two like that, just going 5-3-1. So yeah. So I guess top 256 is what people would classify it for Pokemon.
And how many CP does that get you in TCG?
30.
30.
Yeah. So I think I want to say it's either 60 or 90 points, which isn't great, but it kind of
But
is what it is.
yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna still try. Like I'm playing TCG in Hartford, so
yeah. I have 40 CP in VG, so not getting top 128 in London really kind of ruined my chances at a realistic Worlds invite.
yeah. Oh, and that's the thing for me too, is like I kind of needed to perform in London
Yeah.
and I had a couple of mental errors and unfortunate circumstances happen in London where very early on it put me in a hole and I just couldn't dig myself out of it.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. We had such a good time though, so that's why I was
Oh
like,
my
yo, let's do a
god, dude.
London recap today too.
Dude, we had such a great time.
Yeah, like so it was us and Jin in the room, and we were hanging
Yeah.
out with G Money, Shortbread, Darsh, Neil. Like we had a good solid crew too.
Oh yeah.
But so day one, like when we got to the hotel, well, like oh yeah, you got there later actually.
I
That's
got there
right.
late, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that was part of my issue too, is because like I got there late and I didn't exactly have time to like adjust or like wear
yeah,
myself out or anything to get some sleep that night.
yeah.
So I would definitely do it differently next time. I would either do what you guys did or I would get in just like one day before.
Want to hear what I'm mad at myself about?
Sure.
I forgot to tell us to get McDonald's snack wraps.
Ah,
I'm so mad at
yeah.
myself. Yeah, I'm so mad at myself. I forgot to do that while we were over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right. We ate enough decent food.
We had really good food though, so that's why it didn't really matter, and that's why I wasn't like
Dude,
hungry for
that's
any fast food.
like and we ate so often. I was just like, dude, I haven't even worked off lunch yet. Like there's no
Yeah.
way.
But I'm
So
glad. So Tommy's tour of
you know,
Buckingham
Tom H
Palace.
City Tours is amazing. If you ever have the opportunity to travel around London with Tom, just do it. Like
I
it's
got one
worth it.
route. I got one route that works, and it is take the train to Buckingham. Then we take walk through the park to the tavern, eat fish and chips, and take the Uber boat and drink back.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Oh
like
yeah.
And I'm
Dude, it was
sure like
awesome though. It's like
whatever
it just made so much sense. Like the route that we took just made so much sense, and it's just like we got to see so much stuff along the way.
the Big Ben right
You
near the
know,
pub too.
exactly. So it's just like we took the train to Buckingham Palace, saw Buckingham Palace, walked through St. James Park,
Awesome
saw Big
complex.
Ben,
Yeah.
and then we ate lunch at the tavern right outside Big Ben.
So
I
I've
taught
been there
I
multiple
taught Tom
times.
about what the chimes on the church bell mean.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So and then we took the Uber boat on the Thames River, back towards our hotel, and then we took the cable car and we were back. It was awesome. You
I
just got to
love
see
the cable
so much
car.
stuff.
The cable car and the Tesco Express. Like the cable
Dude,
car
cable yeah, shout out to Tesco Express.
and that
They
being
thought we
said,
were nuts. Like as soon as we walked in, like you could just see them going towards the stock room too.
well, they needed to restock the Copperbergs. I
They
have them
they
in my
needed
fridge right now.
yeah, dude, they needed to restock those Copperbergs.
Oh my god! And wait, so the Recu, what's the other one? The Ray
Was it the recorder league?
Recorderling. All right, so I
That's
can
that's the one that I found here. I couldn't find Copperbergs here, but I found recorder league here.
okay. I haven't looked for Recorder League, but I found
Yeah.
Copperbergs. I like the strawberry
So,
and lime a lot. I didn't find the
dude, the
cans that
strawberry
great.
lime's so good.
The cans were I think a little bit better than the bottle. I don't know why. I think the degenerate in me liked it better, but it's like apple juice with
Dude, it
alcohol.
tasted so good. Like I'm not a big drinker,
Neither am I.
and Jin just kept handing me these freaking cans, and I was just like, okay. I just kept taking them down.
Yeah, just I'll take another one.
Yeah, it was like juice. It was crazy.
So I wanted to fly with some back, but I was like, that's definitely feels illegal.
Yeah, no, I mean, you would have definitely had to declare that when you got back.
Oh, really? I couldn't just put them in my bag with a bunch of like clothes and say hope for
I
the best.
mean, you could have, but
That's illegal. Yeah, it's smuggling.
it is illegal. It is technically smuggling.
So I'm glad I didn't do that. I only did that with Kit Kat Chunkies.
Yeah, I feel like that's less important than the booze.
So now June was like, "Why don't you just order those on Amazon? You could get those here." I was like, "What?"
Dude, like as soon as I landed in New York and I got settled by my gate, that's exactly when I looked on Amazon.
Can we buy alcohol on Amazon? Because now I might find the recording on there. No, I'll
I have
find
no
it.
idea.
Yeah, no, I gotta look
Dude,
into
like
it.
there was like I went to the one liquor store here and they have like a huge cider section. And I was just like, "Do you have this?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Even better." So it's
That's the
only like a
sick.
10-minute drive to the freaking liquor store. So I'm good.
Yeah, there's one near where I work, and that's the one I went. He knew exactly. I said, "Do you have Copperbergs?" He's like, "Oh yeah, the cider." I was like, "How the fuck do you know? Like, what the fuck?" And he
Dude, how
spent
did we
money.
not know until we went?
Yeah, like what? But again, it was so great because I'm not a beer guy. They get me too full, and
Oh,
I'm like,
I'm the same way. I don't drink a ton of beer.
and then hard liquor gets me so fucked up. I don't like to drink a lot of it,
Yeah.
so I'm
And if
never
I
a heavy
if I
drinker.
drink liquor, it's normally vodka.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So it's just like, like I'm not big. So having that middle ground now, where the ciders are like very fun. I drank like three of them on stream last night though, so that can be dangerous, which was fun. You know?
well, it's just like they just go down so smooth. And
Yeah,
like
it's so
I
sweet.
gave one to my dad. My dad was like, "This is great."
Yeah, I imagine. And then actually, summer shandies are back too. So when I went to go buy
Oh,
Copperbergs, I
that's
got
even
some.
better,
The
dude.
Linden Kugel summer shandies are my favorite too.
Oh
I'm a
yeah.
lemonade guy.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah. Oh man,
So
but bro,
oh yeah.
like, I'm so happy our paths crossed at these tournaments. Like, so
Oh,
the
I know,
first,
dude. It was
yeah,
crazy because like my brother was like, "Yo, I'm testing with this dude. His name's Tom Hayden," and then like, you guys were testing. I think you guys were testing before Indy.
yes, because that was my first regional. So I was reaching out to
Yeah,
people from High Roller, like, hey, you
yeah.
want to do some testing?
So he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm testing with this guy, and I think I'm pretty solid on this team, and blah blah blah." So when I got to the venue, I met you.
Yeah,
Like because I think it was like between one of the rounds or something. Like he was just like he was like, "Oh yeah, this is
we were just
Tom.
like, yeah,
I was testing with him and all that stuff." And
and then
then I had to explain to you that I was playing TCG, not VGC. Because like that's the thing too. It's just like I've been rooming with full VGC players. Like I haven't been rooming with TCG players, so it's just like I'm just kind of like off doing my thing. Like, I got to re-sleeve my deck, I got to do all this stuff, and then you guys are just like running games in the living room and stuff when we're like Orlando. Like I got when I got to Orlando and Jin was just like, "Yo, we need to lab anything for you?" I'm like, "I'm good. I'm playing TCG." He's just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, no, that was such a cool rooming experience too. We had a really solid group in Orlando too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Except for the fact that we didn't find that bedroom until the last night.
we open up a closet door and there's an entire washer dryer and an entire twin mattress in a closet that we didn't know about when we had like
Dude.
people sharing couches and shit.
Oh yeah, dude. It was the space was tight. We'll just say space was tight. And yeah, we definitely could have used that extra mattress.
So good. Well, we found it when we picked up an extra person, which was very funny.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
out of nowhere, we pick up an extra person, and then out of nowhere, we find an extra mattress, and it was
yeah,
just like, oh, all right, this worked out.
yeah, exactly. So
Oh God, man, but yeah, no, I've been
yeah,
having
dude.
so much fun this season because yeah, me and you have roomed together in Orlando now, in
Yeah,
London, and
yeah.
then I'm doing my own thing in Hartford. I got a friend who me and him are splitting a hotel room,
There
and
you
then
go. Yeah,
what else?
I think I'm on my own in Hartford also. I think I'm just kind of doing my thing.
Portland, I haven't
So
planned out too much, and what is it? NAIC, I haven't planned out too much either, so I got to
yeah.
figure
Well,
both
I
of those
mean,
out.
NAIC for me is pretty simple. I just drive to my brother's house. So
Yeah, you're crashing at Tom's.
oh yeah. It's the
Oh,
simplest thing. Like it's just like it makes it so much like so nice because like I go down there so often where it's just like okay I know where everything is. Like I can drive around his house and I can get to stores and I can get to whatever I need. So it's just like it's kind of cool.
and
So and I bet it's like really nice for him because it's just like you get to wake up in your own bed and you get to go
yeah,
play a tournament.
home field
And it's just like
advantage.
yeah, it's like I've only been able to do that once for a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Actually, back in September, I played a Yu-Gi-Oh like a big Yu-Gi-Oh tournament for the first time in years.
Nice.
Like just because it was so close to home and I was just
Why
like
not?
I'm just going to go cuz like why not?
Yeah,
So I did terrible cuz I don't really play that game anymore. But it's just like I had a good time either way because like a lot of my friends that I still have like today still play Yu-Gi-Oh like hot and heavy. They're going to events, stuff like that. So like when I was in Fort Wayne, there was a group of them that were in LA at a YCS. So it's just
wow.
like yeah, it's cool. So it's just like I still have a lot of friends that play Yu-Gi-Oh. So it's like still pretty cool for me to like just go and like dabble and play a couple of games here and there. But it still just doesn't feel like the game that I learned how to play. So I'm just gonna stick with Pokemon for a while, I think.
Bro, that makes sense though. Like, and
Yeah.
does when Pokemon rotates cards, does it change the meta? Is there a fear of that same problem happening in Pokemon, or what was the
Um
crux of the issue? I guess.
I think it's really how um like some of the game mechanics changed. They added some mechanics and they made the game so much faster for Yu-Gi-Oh! And like it's basically all right, Yu-Gi-Oh 101. There's three types of cards. There's monsters, there's spells, and there's traps. And traps you can play on your opponent's turn. So and traps are something you have to set face down on your board, and that's how you interact with your opponent.
Yeah.
Traps are pretty much just too slow now to play, and you only play them if they are searchable through the deck that you are running. So only if you can, like throughout the combo that you're doing, it's able to be searched is the only time that you're really playing traps as a general rule. So it's just like I when I learned it was just like the game was so much slower. You could interact with your opponent. You were setting traps, and you were able to interact. And
Wait, can you
and
answer the question? I got my dog
yeah,
barking outside. My neighbor's calling me.
yeah, no problem, no problem.
You guys.
So it's just like it's harder. It's harder to play now, I think, because the game is more. I'm gonna vomit my hand onto the board. I'm gonna put up as many negates as humanly possible, and your job is to see if you can break that board. And if you can't break that board, the game is basically over. And there's really nothing you can do about it. So it just felt completely like a different game. It feels like a completely different game than the game that I learned. And I don't fear that with Pokemon because, in essence, Pokemon is still the same game. You take more prize cards these days than when the game was invented because VMAXs give up three, V stars and Vs give up two, but still, it's just like you still have to take six prizes to win the game. And you're always getting multiple turns to play the game. And it's just, it feels like a more fun experience to play the game when I can play multiple turns, and it's different because the game isn't really combo oriented. It's more sequencing and when you're playing your cards, what order you're playing your cards, um, and things like that. So, as a general rule, I really don't fear the same thing happening to Pokemon that I did to Yu-Gi-Oh because of that. Um, I still do enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh on a certain level, but it's way too combo-y for me to really enjoy. Um, so that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's just no, I definitely think Pokemon is headed to a more healthy gameplay area because they're starting to introduce more comeback cards and they're trying to fix the mistake of three prize Pokemon, which they implemented starting with tag teams and things like that. So that's really
All right, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
it's all good. I've been entertaining while you were gone.
I appreciate it greatly, and I kind of wanted to hear the answer, but dude, so that's like, I hope that doesn't happen in Pokemon. What happened to you, go? I was like, so my mom ordered a pizza. My mom has a fever and she's sick, but the pizza went to my
Yeah.
neighbor's house.
Oh my god.
So that's why I was just, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, Tom's home. He'll answer the door anyway." We didn't coordinate this at all.
So basically, what I was saying is I don't really fear the same thing happening to Pokemon because I feel like Pokemon is actually like taking steps to make sure what happened to Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't happen to itself.
Even when they add new cards and whatnot.
Even when they add new cards, like there's always going to be something broken that comes out of a new set or something that
Yeah.
changes the meta.
Power creep always
Rotation,
happens.
like yeah, power creep always happens no matter what.
Yeah.
But like with rotation, especially like this rotation, like really calmed down the best deck in the format. Where like because Lugia was very clearly the best deck in the format before rotation, and Lugia is still playable, like 100% playable now, but it's just nowhere near as powerful as it was.
Because it lost one of its tools or something.
It lost a lot of the special energy that made it so powerful. Like pretty much all the good special energy rotated out. It lost a couple of their main attackers. Um, it lost quick ball, which was really important for it as a discard outlet and to get your basic Pokemon. Um, so yeah, I mean it lost some tools, but it's still able to be played. Like I have a Lugia deck sleeved up right now, like just in case. Just because like it's still good, but it's just not on the level that it was on before.
And now people might not be prepping against it as much, so their decks might be a little weak to it or something like that.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very possible too.
Yeah. That's the way I like to think in VG sometimes. Like, is I say, okay, so I haven't been seeing any Wochens. Wochen going down in usage makes me think, can I take advantage of anything that, like, I had on my team specifically for Wochen? Can I drop that to make my team better into something else if I'm not as worried, you know?
Right.
Like that type of stuff. But
Yeah, it makes sense. And it's just like it's always a meta call. Going into a tournament, it's always a meta call.
yeah.
Like, what do I think is going to be the most deck, like most played deck? What uh what options do I have against that deck? Can what I've been playing contend with that deck and things like that? So
Yeah. No, the TCG is definitely interesting to me. I want to invest time in it, maybe after Worlds. But I keep saying that for like playing God of War and other games too. I'll play Pokemon Unite after World. I'll play God of War after Worlds.
yeah,
I'll learn TCG after Worlds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what Pokemon I want to try and unite that I haven't tried yet is Gudra. Because I do
Is
like
it the
Gudra.
game?
Gudra's in the game now.
I might play some games of Unite today because I'm off today. Again, so my mom has a fever, so I canceled all my plans. I didn't go to Rutgers local. I was like, you know what? Let me use this as an excuse to stay inside because I've seen her. I don't want to get anyone sick, even though I'm not feeling sick or anything.
Yeah.
So I used it as an
No,
excuse.
that's the responsible thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right. And you know what? After this podcast, I might boot up some games of Unite and just play for fun. Do
There you
some
go,
shit.
man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Sounds
Dude,
good.
like I've been having so much fun. That's why I was so happy to have you on. Like was so Friday in London was your first day. That was tournament day 1.
Oh
And
yeah.
we were just what did we do again? We ate at did we go to
Oh,
the
where did we
Sanitarium?
go?
No, we just went to the venue and did the tournament.
Yeah, we went to
After
the
the tournament,
venue. We did the turn. We got breakfast at the hotel.
yes,
Then
which I was
we
hyping up by the way, and it was
you were
so
hyping up, and I was very disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
when me and Beanie, so for Worlds, it was me, Sejun Park, and Leonhardt in the line for breakfast, all scooping eggs onto our plate. And I was like, big fan of both you guys. It was like good ass breakfast the first time.
Yeah,
This time it was not. It was like green eggs. It was
yeah,
legitimately like
dude.
they were sitting out for so long
The
they'd started
those
turning
were
gray.
like yesterday's eggs for sure.
Yeah,
And then we played. What did we
we.
do for dinner?
I forget what we did for dinner too.
What did we do for dinner? Where
Oh,
did we
we. I think
go?
we ate at the hotel. We ate at the hotel bar.
I thought that was the night that I got there.
Oh, so that's Thursday night.
Yeah, where did we go? Because I thought we went somewhere for dinner. I don't actually remember.
Neither do
I
I.
was that tired where I just don't
Yeah.
remember. Like I was
I don't
shot. Like I
remember
only
either.
got like 3 hours or 4 hours of sleep in the 2 nights like leading up to that tournament.
I think we ate
Uh,
good though.
what'd you say?
I think we ate something good though.
Oh, I'm sure it was,
And then yeah, so
but
Saturday we wake up, we go to the tournament, we meet up with
yeah,
Fran and G Money and everyone.
yeah. We went to the venue. We watched some of the stream matches, and then we grabbed some lunch, and
We're like,
then
let's
we
go
went
sightseeing.
exploring. We went on Tom H City tours.
And that's when the Tommy City tour started. We did the
Yeah,
gallivanting around we talked about. We
yeah.
get back to the hotel, and did is this the night we found Med Grill?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. So we found
Yo,
this place in
shout out Med Grill because they put up with a lot with us.
dude, they were awesome. Like
They were
hit the
great.
spot both
They
nights.
like shout out to the whole staff there because they were awesome.
Yeah. And then after Med Grill,
That's when we found the churros.
the churros were so fucking
Dude,
good.
churros for the boys.
Churros were the boy. Yeah, I was like, I had the churros, and I was debating getting another round of churros. And Ginny over here thought I was talking about alcohol, and I said, no, churros for the boys. And it just, oh
Oh my.
man, churros. It was mini churros with caramel filling, and they had a side of caramel sauce and a scoop of vanilla ice cream. And then
Dude,
the
they
next
were
day,
good.
we
They
went
were real
back,
good.
they didn't have the caramel sauce on the side and the little like ramekin like they did the day before.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I asked for it and they never brought it out, and I just ate them before they could have even brought them out because they were so good. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
debating getting
they
another
were
thing of
real good.
churros there.
So yeah, so then after dinner on Saturday, we went back to the hotel and we
Slept
crashed
out.
because we were all
Yeah,
tired.
so tired.
And then
Sunday we just kind of
Sunday,
chilled out. We got good
yeah,
sleep
Sunday
Sunday.
we went to a cafe for breakfast. Then
I like
we
that
went
breakfast too.
to like you guys went back to the hotel for a bit, but I wanted to watch TCG finals, so I stayed at the venue.
Oh yeah, we did. We did
And
go to the
then I
hotel.
watched all the TCG stuff, and then you guys came for the VG finals. And then after that, we went back to Med Grill
Yeah,
and spent another 500 pounds
no,
on
800.
food and drinks and stuff. Um, Yeah, and then we went back to the hotel bar, had another couple of drinks, and then we were done for the night because we had to get up early to head to the airport.
And dude, it was just such a fun fucking trip. Like I had such a
Dude,
blast.
it was
Like
just incredible because it's just like it was just nonstop laughs and
yeah, that's
like
exactly what it was.
I I'm a big personal space guy. Like I most of the time I need like some kind of time alone, and I basically didn't have any of
Any of
that,
that. Yeah.
but I was good. Like I was having such a good time with everybody that it just didn't matter. Like I was just having a blast.
It was funny, like the longest we really had to wait was for G Money. He was taking so long to do everything. I won't call him out
Oh
on it,
my god, dude.
but he was taking so long to do everything, which was just so funny.
Dude, it was brutal. That was a long time. It
No,
really
it was
was a
good.
long time.
Well, we were sitting in the sun. We could have planned it better. We could have walked towards the train station, told him to meet us there or something.
Well, it's just like, dude, if I thought it was gonna be that long, I would have sat out and baked in the sun for a half an hour.
Yeah,
I would have gone in the venue. I would have done something.
I love it. I fucking love it. But yeah, we already hit the 45-minute mark, man. This is
Holy
almost
cow! Yeah, look
done.
at that.
Yeah. But is there anything else we didn't touch on yet? Because we got through the TCG, we how we met. I'm so excited to see you in the other region. I actually can't believe. So me and your brother tested so much. I haven't seen him at one regional because I didn't go to Fort Wayne. That's the only one he went to.
Oh yeah, that was really close for him. So yeah,
Yeah.
he I mean, he's a busy man with his work and everything, so he can't
Exactly. So I
always
can't
he
wait to
can't
see him at
always
NAIC.
swing regionals because he travels a lot for work. You
Yeah.
know, like he literally just got back from Colombia, so it's
Okay.
just like he just can't always hit everything.
Yeah.
So
And I've been trying to hit
I
as
know
many as
he's definitely going to be NAIC, obviously, because
I'm
it's
going
where he
NAIC.
lives.
Hopefully
So
we register. Hopefully it's not a nightmare registering.
it probably will be, but
Yeah. That'd be
at
fun
least
though.
they do multiple waves where it's like
Yeah.
it gives you a chance.
It gives you a chance. Yeah.
So,
But
because I remember after I booked a UIC and I didn't get in the first wave after waking up at 4 a.m. to try to register, I was like real nervous for it. Like,
I didn't
because
get in the
I had
second wave
to,
either.
yeah, I had to step away at work to go and try to register, which is honestly, it's pretty simple for me to do, working where I work. So,
Dude, I couldn't stop laughing. I clocked off at 1:55 to register for wave 3 at 2 p.m. Eastern. And my
yeah.
boss, the owner, came in and had asked me to do something. I said, Jim, I actually clocked off early. I'm using the Wi-Fi for something personal. I'm sorry, I can't do it. He was like, oh, okay. And then I started celebrating, like, I got in, I got in. Like, what just happened, Tom? Like, what just
That's
happened?
awesome. I
I
love
was so
that.
happy. Yeah, no, the third wave. I didn't get in on the first two. Didn't get in
Yeah,
any.
I got it in that second wave, so
Yeah.
I got lucky there.
Holy shit. But yeah, I actually really got to pee. So I'm sorry I got to call this podcast early now.
No, that's good, man. That's awesome. I had a blast. Thank you so much for having me on.
Dude, this is so much fun. I'm so happy we got to talk about London. I want to get Jin on. I want to get G Money and Shortbread Dread on. I want to get like everyone on. I still got to get so many people from Team New York on. I want to get on. I got to get so like I have so many plans with this podcast that I haven't done. So I'm so happy to get your name off the list because your name was one I wanted on here for a while. So
Oh, I
crossing your name
appreciate it,
off the
man.
list, man, yeah, I'm so happy about that. I'm like,
I
I'm
wasn't sure if you were going to have me on because you already had my brother on, but
wow, you guys aren't the same
this
person. No, you
I,
when are you
I
making?
know we're not, but it's like we have like completely different stories also, which
Yeah,
is like
exactly.
awesome.
And yeah, no, I have a big list in my notes app where I'm just like, all right, all the people I want on. And your name was close
Nice.
to the top after I interviewed your brother. I was like, now I got to get Mike on too.
Nice.
But
Sweet, man.
yeah,
I appreciate it. I had a really good time.
thank you so much. And yeah, so thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.